I want to get very serious. As all you all know, amen, a firestorm hit me, amen, on this past Sunday and been traveling throughout this week. Something that was handled 18 years ago. My dad said, always acknowledge, own it, and you can move on and get back to business doing what God has called you to do. So that's what I tried to do. I tried to give all of you all a heads up before it went out so that you would know that it was coming from me. But I made that statement, and the statement is the statement. That's it. I'm done. I'm moving on and not going back and forth with anything or anybody. Amen. I'm not throwing stones at anybody. I'm not making anybody a victim or a villain or whatever, because at the end of the day, amen, I can only be accountable for my actions. And amen, I handled that 18 years ago, and now I've got to deal with it now. But it is what it is, got to deal with it. And sometimes when you think things are over, they come back. But anyhow, I'm trying my best, amen, to take care of my wife, my children, my daughter, Kiera, and her husband, and Buddy, and his wife, and my grands, and keep moving forward, amen. But I ask you all for your forgiveness, amen. You shouldn't have to deal with this. You deserve better than that. And again, you should not have to be making excuses for me, that I've asked you to make excuses for me, but you should not even have to deal with this. And my apologies to you, and ask for your forgiveness, but I've moved on and have moved on for almost 2 decades, amen, and trying to do what God has called me to do. So I want to thank you for your prayers. The ministers and leaders, amen, prayed for me in the sanctuary, amen, a few minutes ago, and I feel the strength of God on this morning. And I want to thank God for your love. I want to thank God for your prayers, and I want to thank God most of all for your support and for your kindness and for your forgiveness. How many of y'all ready to have some church on today?
Fall, the greater the reconciliation. Is there somebody in here instead of shriveling up into a fetal position?
Even asking me why now? Why not now? Why not now? Why not? Why not now? Thank you. What happened to Bathsheba? Exactly, David. And I love that, because that's a city of David. David was supposed to be out fighting. He wasn't. He saw Bathsheba. She was beautiful, taking a bath. And what did he do? And here go the thing. This is what I don't like about religious church people. Putting judgments on me. When King David called for Bathsheba, the Bible never records that Bathsheba rejected him or told him no. I would like to think that Bathsheba probably was a little flattered that King David, wanted her. She even She was flattered that King David beckoned her. Men that have power and influence and power can use that to get in your panties. And they do it all the time. King David did it with Bathsheba. Charles Ellis did it with me. So when you think of my story, think about David and Bathsheba. I wouldn't say that Jezebel is just attracted to power. Jezebel is looking to tear down the men of God. That's an intentional thing. I was innocent. I wasn't intentional about tearing down the man of God. He came after me. He pursued me, and I'm going to talk about that in my book too. I don't gotta lie. Where's Juanita now? That's a good question. Where is Juanita Bass now? Y'all listen. Y'all ask the Ellises, where is Juanita Bass? I want to know where she at too. She was so pretty. She used to strut through the church with her little suits on. She was bow-legged. She used to wear stilettos to church. She used to look at me because I was just a little ghetto girl from California. You know, I used to come to church with my little gym shoes on, my little jogging suits. She used to see me in his office a few times, but she played the game. And that's another thing. I'm not from Detroit. Detroit, women got hoeing down. Like, I wasn't groomed to be a sophisticated hoe. I was just an innocent girl, happy that King David liked me. Big difference. Y'all making statements about, I know how the game go. I know how, if I'm the other woman, I'm keep my mouth closed. I'm just going, I know what it is. I ain't about to put nobody up there. I know what it is. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was until later on when I found out what it was. I didn't come to Detroit as a groomed hoe. Detroit, like Biggie say, home of the pimps and players and the whores. That wasn't my experience. When they say you didn't know, I really didn't know. I was totally green. I was happy that he liked me, that he was reaching out to me, and that he would help me. You can't do no cease and desist against truth. He know I'm telling the truth. That's why he admitted it. I ain't telling nothing but God's holy gospel truth. I ain't got no reason to lie. None. Not one reason. God is my witness. I come through depression and everything. I went through a whole process. Years of grieving, years of depression, years of fear almost. That man he know a lot of people. He got the FBI at his church, the police that's at his church. He got judges at his church. All the Detroit dignified people go to that church. That's why, certain things get swept under the rug. But God. I don't fear nobody but God. So that's why I could talk about it. Y'all tripping. Talking about you sound like you begging. He was the money man. That was it. Duh. The first time we didn't even talk a good 5 minutes. He was giving me money. And me moving here by myself. If I needed something, I would make a phone call. Why is y'all mad about that? That's what it was about. He was a resource. He was my resource. Then they say, well, why you mad? If he was giving you money, you knew what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
This album is dedicated.
I didn't know till I knew.
They told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from that called the police on me when I was just trying.